Okay, so whenever you create your AWS account for the first time, you get something called as a free tier. Now the free tier consists of the following. It consists of the free trial. So the free trial basically offers short-term free trial offer starts from the date you activate a particular service. So a common example of this would be Redshift, which is basically a data warehousing service that is provided by AWS. And this particular free trial is available for 2 months from the day you start that particular service. And the second variety is basically the 12 months free. So with this, you can enjoy 12 months free from the day you sign up for AWS. Now, a very prime example of this would be an EC2 machine. Now, this is something that we will see once we are done with this particular slide. So we'll create an EC2 machine and it's going to be free for 12 months. Now, of course, not all varieties of EC2 machines are going to be free. It's just one called the T2 Micro, and we'll create a T2 Micro instance and it'll be free for the first 12 months. Now, there are certain services that are always free. A prime example of this would be the AWS Lambda. Now, this particular AWS Lambda can be executed 1 million times per month, and it'll be free of charge forever. So these are the 3 distinct varieties that you get. Now, you can go through this particular link and see all the services and under what particular category it belongs to. So let's go ahead and let's open this website and let's see. So I've opened that particular website. Now, if you keep going down, you can see all the services and under what category it belongs to. So for example, if you want to see all the 12 months free services that are available, you can just click on this checkbox. You can see that there is an EC2 machine that is basically 12 months free use. Now, again, an important thing to remember here is that it is 750 hours per month for which you do not need to pay. So for example, you can create one instance and run it for 750 hours, which is basically equivalent to 1 month, or you could even run a multiple EC2 instances. However, the cumulative of those EC2 instances shouldn't cross 750, and if it does, you have to pay for the extra amount for the extra number of hours that you've spent. And similarly for RDS as well, and again for Amazon S3, you can have 5 GB of free storage. So you can go through this particular website and you can see all the services and what category it belongs to. So now that you've done that, let's go ahead and let's create our EC2 instance. So let's go back to our console. So what we're going to create is basically first an EC2 machine, and this EC2 machine is going to be of type T2 Micro, since T2 Micro falls under the free tier. Now you can't create EC2 machines of other types, unfortunately. You can only create T2 Micro for it to fall under the free tier. Now, after you've created the instance, you also need to create a boot disk which contains your operating system. And this boot disk is basically called as an elastic block storage. So there is also 30 GB of EBS that is free, that falls under the 12 months free. So these are the 2 resources that we're going to create. That is first the T2 Micro, and then we're going to create a boot disk that contains the operating system. And this boot disk is basically going to be elastic block storage. So let's go ahead and let's see how we can create these 2 resources. So let's go back to our console. So here I'm in my console once again. I'm in my North Virginia, and the prime aim right now is to create an EC2 machine which has a boot disk, which is basically an elastic block storage. So what we'll do is we'll again click on EC2 here to create our first EC2 machine. And you can see that there are no instances created. So you can just click on launch instances. And the first thing that it will point out is basically the operating system that you want. So here there's something called as an Amazon Linux 2 machine image. So this is again falls under the free tier. So you can use this. Click on select. And here you need to choose the kind of machine it is. Basically, so we're going to choose a T2 Micro. So only T2 Micro currently falls under the free tier, are eligible. So you just choose the free tier and let's click on next. So we just need 1 number of instances. Now again, these are settings that I will let remain default. We'll talk about them as we progress in this particular course. So let's click on next. And here is basically where your EBS volumes comes in handy. So if you go through this page, you can see that there is 30 GB of EBS that is free that falls under the free tier for 12 months. So we're going to use up 8 of that particular 30, and it's going to be this particular EBS volume that contains our operating system. So it's basically the root or the boot disk. So that's about it. You can again click on next. So these are all just other configurations. So let's click on review and launch, and let's create an instance. Click on launch. So here you need to give a key pair. So since we are creating it for the first time, let's create a new key pair. So you need a key pair to log into your virtual machine. So that's something that we'll see in the next chapter. So for the time being, let's create a new key pair. Let's just call this as key pair. And click on download. And let's launch a particular instance. So again, if you go back to your EC2 now, so what you've done currently is you've created a free tier EC2 machine of type T2 micro. So that is how you can create your free tier EC2 machine in AWS. So that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next.